and concern for others. We are thankful for the blessings of this day, this country, and for the unique gathering of service-minded community leaders. Lord, even as we pray these words and express these thoughts, we are not always the people we would like others to think we are. In this paralysis of spirit, we contribute to unrest, indifference to our neighbors' needs, and preoccupation with material standards. Dear God, you are so patient, so caring, so understanding. Forgive our inadequacies and help us to model your direction and love. Now we humbly ask that you would bless this gathering and us to a deeper commitment to service. Amen. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Delisa English, and it is my privilege this afternoon to introduce our guests and our visiting Rotarians. So today we have Susan Fultz, who's a guest of the club. Susan, if you would stand, please, in the line. Susan's in the line. Chris White, who's a guest of the club. If you would stand, please. Virtual. Good to see you, Chris, virtually. Penny Robbins, who's a guest of Ramona Farrell. Please stand. Micheline Johnson, who's a guest of the club. Micheline, glad to have you. Diana Ariza, who's a guest of the club. Diana. We have Larry Murphy, who's a guest of Marie Murphy. Larry, welcome. Glad to have you. We have, sorry, I can't see, Kevin Kurlas, who's a guest of George Fletcher. And we have Roger Moore, who's a guest of the club. Not 007, I already asked. And we also are privileged to have two visiting Rotarians from the Anderson Club, Rita Burgess and Hugh Burgess, and they're also guests of Elizabeth Razor. So please join me in welcoming all our guests and visiting Rotarians today.
Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. Ryan Thackeray here with your member news for October 26th. Denver Downs Farm, the special spot in Anderson, South Carolina, operated by Rotarian Elizabeth Garrison Razor and her family, recently received a big honor as USA Today ranked their corn maze as the 6th best corn maze in the country. The farm also made the list in 2016, 2018, 2019, and 2020. It is the only corn maze in South Carolina and just one of 2 mazes in the Southeast to make the list. If you haven't visited Denver Down Farms, go check it out. And if getting lost in a corn maze sounds like something out of your nightmares, there are loads of other fun activities for folks of all ages. Folks, if you haven't already, please be sure to sign up or ask how you can help support this year's fundraiser, the Kringle Holiday Village. You know, volunteering is a key part for each of us to get the most out of our Rotary membership. Not only will you have fun and get to know some fellow Rotarians, but you can feel extra good about doing your part to help our club raise important funds that'll be reinvested right back into our community. This is a tremendous undertaking for our club, and we need all hands on deck. As a matter of fact, Jane Dyer has roped me into dressing up as Santa Claus next week for the press release, and my kids are going to have several questions when they watch the news and see Santa with their father's voice. I will be giving them Jane's cell phone number. And speaking of volunteer opportunities, if you have not done Read to Me yet, I encourage you to do so. I'll admit, I personally had not participated in this long-standing tradition for our club until just recently, but then Amy Randall emailed me and Mike Snively called me. There was no way I was getting out of it. So I agreed to participate. Not only did I get to read one of my favorites, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, but it was pure excitement on the students' faces while I read the book. I did it on Zoom, And I think it took all of about 10 minutes for me to do this volunteer activity. And selfishly, I think I may have just gotten out of it as the kids did. One, I needed to remind myself that we all have horrible, terrible, no good, very bad days. And two, these students were thrilled to hear from someone other than their teacher. I assure you, it'll make you feel good to make others feel good. Please reach out to Amy Randall to learn more about reading to class. You can do this in person, are now available, or over Zoom. And there are also new opportunities to take it a step further and serve as a mentor to a student at Alexander Elementary. It is with a very heavy heart and inform you of the death of Gail Patrick, wife of our longtime member, Phil Patrick. Phil and Gail have lived life as it should be lived, with joy, with compassion, with love, and with integrity. Phil will need our support as he learns to live without Gail. Please keep Phil and his family in your thoughts and prayers moving forward. And Rotarians, don't forget to register for our meetings. It makes Michelle's life much easier and also helps Fabian know how many catfish he has to go catch leading up to the meeting. So please follow those e-newsletters and make sure you do register for our meetings. Also, special announcements. Heather has an additional new job serving on the as an adjunct professor for Wake Forest University. Correct, Wake Forest University. Go Deacons. Got Bob Morris out here today? No, okay, fair enough. He missed it. That's on him. And congratulations to Heather on her new job as an adjunct professor. And a big special announcement, Rotarian Rob Rowan has just completed his book, Defining Moments. And he's inviting you to his book launch and signing. There are 2 dates and times for you to join Rob and support him and his work: Thursday, November 4th from 6 to 8, and Sunday, November 7th from 1 to 3 p.m. It's all happening at 108 Whitland Way in Taylor's. The book, Defining Moments, shares the story of 14 people. They choose to rise above and take the hard path that leads them to extraordinary results when faced with tough challenges. Their defining moments allow us to look at our own lives and realize we too get moments with other paths to inspire. So if you woke up this morning thinking, how can I be an all-star Rotarian? Yeah, it's rather simple, actually. You just got to volunteer at the Holiday Greenville Village. While there, you ask Rob to sign your new copy of Defining Moments. Then you call Amy, tell Amy Randall you want to read a chapter of his book to the students at Alexander Elementary School. Then take your book to the Denver Downs Corn Maze, and when you get lost, just sit down and enjoy Rob's book until someone finds you. That, my friends, is how you can be an all-star Rotarian this month. Don't forget, if you have member news or would like to sponsor member news, remember sponsorships are extremely free and affordable. Then please shoot me an email. Have a great day.
Who's ready for Christmas? Seriously, is there anybody ready for Christmas? I'm getting there. This has been a big help to get me ready for Christmas. So y'all, Greenville Holiday Village, like, has anybody not heard of Greenville Holiday Village? I didn't think so. Everybody knows. Greenville Holiday Village is our giant fundraiser. We've been talking about it. Now it's time to start doing lots of stuff to get ready to go. So who was here for our fall social? So much fun. So you guys got a nice picture of what's going on for the event. So we're here to tell you what we need right now. Spread the word, buy your tickets, volunteer, donate. 4 things, not a big deal. You guys are super capable of doing this. So number 1, spread the word. This is the biggest thing I need from you guys right now. I've got 1,000 flyers. You can pick them up out on the table there. What I need for you guys to take some, I need you to take them to your church. I need you to take them to your grocery store, your library, wherever it is you frequent, take them. Kids' soccer games, Bible study, anywhere and everywhere. We need to poster this all around Greenville, Anderson, Easley, anywhere you are. I need to tap into your circle. Facebook and LinkedIn. Now, I'm up here. I've asked you guys so many times to share Facebook, LinkedIn. I have not gotten more than 7 shares. I have 700 followers, and I think we have about 50 people here today. Who here is following us on Facebook? It's more than 7. Okay, so I'd like you to pull out your phones. So pull out your phones right now because we're going to use them a couple times today. Today, we posted a new post on Facebook. It's really cute. It says, "Merry Christmas, y'all." I want you to open up the post and hit the share button. You can share it to your story, you can share it to your messenger, but I need you to share it. So when I go home today, I expect to see at least this many shares on my Facebook. If you could share it in your messenger, you can share it to every single one of your contacts. That's the best, quickest way we're going to push this out on social media. LinkedIn, we haven't really started firing up with that. This is kind of more on Facebook right now, so I'm going to just kind of leave it there. And then there's a video of me on Channel 7 with Jack and Ryan. I had a lot of fun. They're super excited. If you want to share that just to kind of get people in the mood and let them know that we're kind of a big deal. Channel 7 thinks we're a big deal. Channel 4 thinks we're a big deal. Lots of reasons to get the word out. Buy your tickets. I know it's still a little bit early. I'm right there. It's still a little early for me to buy tickets, but we need everyone to know that you need to buy tickets. Advanced ticket sales are so inexpensive. A family 4-pack for $30. You can't take your family to the movies for $40. Family 4-pack for $30, $10 per person. Those prices go up December 1st, $15 per person as of December 1st. So buy your tickets now. And we still have tickets available for the VIP event. Heather's been working hard. It's going to be so much fun at the Champions Club Friday night. $100. You get drinks, you get food, you get networking, you get a pre-glimpse of what the event is going to be like. Entertainment, silent auction. So lots of reasons to go to that. And then volunteer. Lucy is our volunteer coordinator. Lucy is doing a great job trying to keep track of all this. There are so many things we need your help on. Everybody's got it there. This is serious, y'all. You just click on that and it takes you to the volunteer sign-up sheet. So there are a lot of opportunities to volunteer the weekend of the event. We need people setting up and taking down Friday and Sunday. And then we need 3-hour shifts for Saturday and Sunday. And you get into the event for free. And we all know, I mean, as Rotarians, service above self, the best part of being a Rotarian is to serve alongside all of these great people. So fun, fun, fun for a good cause. And then also, I am calling all hands on deck for marketing. I'm having a 4 o'clock Zoom today. So if you want to participate in that, let me know and I'll send you the invite. Looking for brainstorming ideas on how and where to get the word out. So we don't have a lot of marketing dollars. So we need everybody's help. And I'm looking for bodies. The first volunteer is going to be Saturday, November 6th, and it's on the volunteer sheet. We're just going to meet out on a Saturday, thinking downtown Greenville, downtown Greer. We're going to have a couple different locations. We're just going to come hang out for 30 minutes to an hour, pass out flyers and talk about the event. So lots of great options for volunteering and then donating. This is a big, big need right now. We need a desperate, urgent need for silent auction items. So we've done this before, just about every event we have a silent auction. If you have items, please contact Catherine Pelicano or Elizabeth Schotke. I hope I said that right. And then live entertainment. So the Welches are doing a great job getting people together, but we need more entertainment. We've got 2 days and we want people to come out and have fun from the time they get there to the time they go home. So if you know anybody, carolers, any kind of local entertainment that would like to join us, have them or have you contact Chuck or Sandy Welch. Did I forget anything? And I can't emphasize enough how much we need this to be a success. This isn't just for fun. This is how our club maintains running. This is how we fund our charities. This is a big deal. And we've got Channel 4 and Channel 7 and other media markets wanting to support us. And everyone I talk to is like, oh my God, this is going to be so great. So just please, all we need is your help, hands on deck, spreading the word. You have a question? Volunteers are ages 16 and above, and we just need Rotarians selling liquor and raffle tickets. Okay, anybody else have any other questions? Yes. 2 and under is free. So family 4-pack for $30 is the way to go. Okay, so share, 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 everybody. Thank you so much.
So Roger hinted that we might have some new members to introduce. We do. So if I could please invite Sarah Arbogast, sat way back there. Come on up, Sarah. And then Dania Beck, Christine Dement, and Meredith Woodward. So Roger, did you want them to sign on the line now for volunteer or not? So I'm sorry, take the pressure off, make my job easy. And they're not standing in the order, but I'm just going to read from what I have. So Sarah, who I said hello to earlier, and she was mentioning she had recently gotten married, and I'm looking over the bio and it says engaged. So I was like, wait, didn't I say you are married? She goes, oh yes, I am. And then she was commenting with Walker how this is like my second attempt to join our club. And so between illnesses, family matter, right, another illness, getting married, so I'll like lock the doors because Sarah, this is it. This is for real now. But to welcome Sarah, and the other thing I learned is she's actually a past Rotaract and was president of Rotaract. And so the natural thing is then to transition into Rotary. So thank you. And so in that conversation, so now she's married and then recently welcomed her first nephew, Dean, into the family. So your family is expanding, isn't it? Very nice. She is passionate about education. She's employed as the VP Development and Marketing at Siegel Music Museum. So check that out if you're not familiar with it. And I'd already mentioned, so prior Rotaract, right? So passionate about service above self and giving back. She's lived in Greenville for about 10 years and does consider this to be her home. And she said, it's the longest you've lived anywhere in town. So there's probably stories back there. But we're glad to have you, and you actually made it across the finish line this time. Yay. Okay, then Dania Beck, did I say it right? Dania, okay, Dania Beck, thank you. So Dania is Director of Philanthropy for Children's Cancer Partners of the Carolinas. She has 2 children, one son, and who's Grayson, and one son, Grayson, who's 16, and one daughter, Avery, who is 13. And is passionate about fundraising and cooking. So fundraising, another connection there, Roger, just saying. She spent her entire career helping others, another clue why she's a Rotarian, through her work in fundraising and development. And you're right, Rotary is a wonderful opportunity, right, to continue to give back. And you've been in Greenville for 20 years. Oh, okay, wow, you are long-term. And Christine Dement. Where's Christine? Welcome, Christine. So she's Development Director, Greenville Symphony Orchestra. Married, husband's Tommy. They have 3 boys, Tom, James, and Luke, who are 11, 8, and 5. And so I'm assuming keep you very, very busy. And she's passionate about family, music, and underserved children. And you've lived in Greenville also for 10 years. So I was just speaking with someone the other day who has 3 boys. And we're talking about the weekend. I was like, oh, you're gonna have a relaxing weekend. He must have had 4 different like soccer games or events to go to. And so I imagine you're kind of in that camp too. Nonstop. Okay, well, welcome. Okay, then Meredith on the end there. Meredith is a consultant with P3 USA, which is actually specific to the automotive industry. More or less? Okay, mostly. Okay. And then she is, let's see, how long have you been in Greenville? 2012, and then originally from Nashville, so not too far away. So I've been here a bit though also. So you, single, are you advertising? I'm just want to say, single, never, I got through all the family things and I read hers. I was like, wait a minute, but you never know. She has a very large fur family. So if we are advertising, you have to love fur children. 2 dogs, 2 cats. I love it. Thank you. She is passionate about dance, musical theater. And you were actually, so you're active. You were in Bye Bye Birdie in the middle. Oh, cool. All right. I see future talent shows for us, maybe. Maybe. Okay. Got involved with Rotary because of her community and then to meet people. And let's see, I was going to make one other thing. Oh, you did, this was the hiking, right? Yes. So on May 28th, it's in what's 28.3-mile challenge hike for Make-A-Wish Trailblaze Challenge. That's on November 6th. Okay, so her third time. So wow, hardcore. Congratulations, and hopefully, right, we'll all support you in that endeavor as well. Okay, so welcome to our newest members. Yep, 4 new volunteers, Roger, just for you. Okay, so with that, now we're going to transition into our main event, which is our guest speaker, Sarah Shoemaker. And so Sarah's worked in the dance education and film industries for over 25 years. She's currently the executive director at International Ballet in Greer. And the reason the invite specifically is, so Steve Fowler had sent me an email, it's like, gosh, last year, right, at some point. And so a lot of recognition for a film that you were the director. I mean, it's your child, right? But a lot of international, local, national recognition for this. So that was what kind of prompted this. And so her documentary is Invitation to the Dance, and it's about adults with intellectual disabilities who take a weekly ballet class. She was awarded the top prize of Best Overall Film at the 2020 Tryon International Film Festival and won Best Documentary at the Beaufort International Film Festival and the Reedy Reels Film Festival. And that was filmed in Greer, correct? Okay. As a former professional dancer, teacher, choreographer, and actress, Sarah's worked in professional ballet companies and independent schools in South Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee. Her resume includes serving as director of dance at the Ensworth School and Brentwood Academy in Nashville, marketing director at the Augusta Ballet as a professional ballet dancer with Charleston Ballet Theater, and acting credits in projects with Academy Award nomination actor Eric Roberts. I wouldn't know some of these movies, I'm just not a big movie person. But Runaway Train, so some of you will recognize. David Huddleston, The Big Lebowski, that's right, that was really popular, if I recall correctly. And Terry Kaiser in Weekend at Bernie's. She served as choreographer for TD Bank's annual WOW Awards tour before joining the team at International Ballet. She holds a BS in Business Administration from the College of Charleston, and then recently graduated Leadership Greenville class of 46. So I will tell you, you have a lot of Leadership Greenville folks. Other Leadership Greenville, raise your hand. You can look around, right? So congratulations on that. With that, Sarah.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. I checked out your member directory online, and you are a very intimidating group. Also, following all of the announcements, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I mean, what could I say that you guys probably don't already know? Well, I was born in Nashville, Tennessee in 1973. That may be inconsequential, something you didn't know though. Yes, I did just tell you my age if you can do quick math. I'm not ashamed of it. 48 yesterday. Yes, thank you. I think I'm actually going to like 48 because 48 doesn't really care too much what any of y'all think about me. And I have a lot of good stories. I'm young enough to not have too many health problems, although my vision is definitely failing, but old enough to be grateful for every single day. Life is an amazing journey. Think of the seasons of life, the imagination and the creativity of childhood, the newness of everything, the identity crises of the teen years, the adventure of young adulthood, the challenges of middle age, and the perspective of senior years. All of you are somewhere on that journey, and I bet you all have very interesting stories to tell. I love stories. Ironically, I didn't actually know how much I love stories because as a kid, I didn't really love to read. I felt shame about that, not being a big reader, because reading was something that I was told that smart people do. And since I preferred to listen to music and dance over reading, I thought I must not be very smart. But I guess that's why I'm here today. I'm here because I listened to music and I danced and I produced shows in my living room. And that is how I understood the world around me. I love stories, but I wanted to dance them and act them, interpret them and perform them and produce them. It turns out that that didn't mean that I wasn't smart. My journey was interesting to me because I just pursue dreams without questioning why not. I was a dancer and a choreographer and an actor and a teacher and a director and a producer, but I'm also a wife. I've been married to my husband, Tom Shoemaker, for 21 years. He's a ballet teacher at the Governor's School. And we have 2 children, a 15-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son. But so I don't bore you completely today, I brought a couple of people with me. As you heard in my bio, I'm the executive director of International Ballet. It's a wonderful nonprofit arts company based in Greer. And my marketing director, Susan Foles, is here with me today. She's going to actually give away 2 free tickets to the Nutcracker with the Greenville Symphony Orchestra. Julie, shout out to GSO. And also, we have a fall show coming up in our own little black box theater, and we'll give away 2 tickets to that show as well. So stick around. And to enter, also, I will say, let me switch my slide. There's Susan. Okay, so if you, to enter to win those tickets, if you did not drop your business card or put your name in the little fishbowl outside, you can duck out and do that before I finish today, or you can text the number on the screen and Susan will enter you. So yes, that's the phone number to text if you want to be entered for 2 tickets to the Nutcracker or 2 tickets to Le Tome. The other, sorry, can I keep going with my slides? The other guest that I invited today is Chris White. Chris and his wife, Emily, are gifted and dedicated filmmakers who make the upstate their home. Chris is actually joining us virtually today from California. I don't know if he can say hi. Can virtual people say hi? I hope so, because, huh?
There I am. I'm high. Hi. You got
Hi,
me?
Chris.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're
Good.
here. Chris
Yeah. Can you see me?
I think so.
Okay. You don't have to see me. It's really me.
This is so cool. Okay, so Chris's feature film, Electric Jesus, won dozens of festival awards across the country last year. It stars Brian Bob Garner from The Office and releases nationwide on streaming services on November 2nd, which is just a few days away. Chris, can you tell us where we can stream Electric Jesus?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The film. So I'm in California because we're at the Newport Beach Film Festival this weekend. And that's our last film festival. We've been doing that for about a year. But 1091 Pictures releases the movie on all digital VOD platforms on November 2nd. So wherever you would see a new movie at home, so like not going to the theater, but watching, like if you would pull up like Amazon Prime or Apple TV or whatever, and you can pre-order Electric Jesus now. And we'd love it if you did. But that film will be in release for years, and show up on the subscription services like Netflix and Hulu and all that later on. But at first, it's like a premium VOD product.
Excellent. Thank you for telling us. We're going to hear more from Chris in just a minute. But I don't care what religion you are, you will be singing Commando for Christ for at least a week after you see this movie. It's very, very catchy and a great film. So I know you're probably thinking, is she going to talk about ballet? Is she going to talk about movies? And the answer is, I'm going to talk about the role of genetics in diseases. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. I'm here to talk about the arts, specifically about how critical the arts are. In fact, to the average everyday person, possibly more critical than understanding the role of genetics in diseases. Maybe not. But I want to try and experiment with you. I have no plants in the room. I didn't ask anybody to say anything. So I just want you to participate with me for a second and call out a word that comes to mind when you think of modern life and current culture. Stressful. Technology. I didn't hear. Pollution. Anyone else want to take a stab? Those are all good words. I wrote down divided, confused, anxious. So I think it's pretty incredible what we're going through as a world right now. And I'm not even really talking about the pandemic. Modern life to me is unbelievable. I don't even recognize it. I mean, we're trying to raise our kids in a culture that we don't even really know what's going to happen in 5 years. And we're stressful. We're stressed. We have pollution. We have big problems. So I want to know what happened. And I don't really mean that metaphorically. I mean that literally. Like, what happened? So I hope when I ask that question and I say what happened, that you don't necessarily go to a place in your mind where you're turning political or pointing fingers. Instead, I want you to pick up an imaginary mirror and look at it. And what do you feel? When I think about picking up an imaginary mirror and looking at it, I feel sort of sad that I'm only human. So many times I just want to be superhuman. I want to fix something that I have no control over. I want to control something to prevent pain. I want to be a hero. And I'm not picking up that mirror, then it's hard to be reminded of my own humanity. I can so easily pretend that I can do anything, that I can fix anything if people would just get out of my way. The problem is the longer I go without a mirror, the less likely it is that I will actually contemplate my story as it relates to your story, a story that might actually benefit all of us if we all knew. The arts are the mirror, and artists are the mirror makers. It's cliche to say, but it's true. I think one of the reasons that we have some of the problems that we have is because we were raised on the value of competition and winning at the expense of the value of the mirror. In fact, we warn young mirror makers that they can't make a living as a mirror maker, which sadly misses the point entirely. I think if we gave American children the quality arts education, not just to support other skills, but just for the sake of arts education, we could transform their minds so that the mirror is always with them and they don't have to be a mirror maker, but they might experience something that makes them feel less alone and therefore be healthier, more empathetic, and possibly even more constructive as adults. At International Ballet, our mission is to inspire joy and success through professional ballet training and performance. We love this mission statement because of these words: inspire, joy, success, training, and performance. And notice that we don't do these things for the IB community in ballet, but through. Ballet is just the tool that we use to teach life lessons. The fact that we have a faculty that can train people who are serious and have dreams of college scholarships and professions is just icing on the cake. But how fortunate are we in Greenville to have something like International Ballet, a nonprofit led by an incredible board of directors, people exactly like you, who are determined to build a legacy organization that will serve the community for years to come. Now, Chris and I don't really have a formal mission statement as filmmakers, but we do make movies to honor journeys and to bottle the magic moments that connect us. So speaking of movies, I want to show you a small clip from the film Invitation to the Dance. This is the one I made over the last few years at International Ballet. It follows some adults with intellectual disabilities through a year of ballet class at International Ballet. In the scene, you're going to meet Lamont, who's one of our star dancers in the special needs class, and his teacher, Elena Forrester. She takes him backstage to give flowers to the principal dancer of the show. Now, the clip itself is 7 minutes long. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. We're going to watch the first 2 minutes and then skip to the last 2 minutes. So hopefully you'll hang for 4 minutes of this clip.
Lamont, would you like to go on stage and give the ballerina? Okay?
You mean do it? Just say so, I do it.
Anything I say, you'll do. Okay? Because you
Yeah.
got to listen to me when we're there, and I'll tell you exactly when to go out and give her the flowers. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? One day, I think the weather was bad. We had a very small class. He had seen the Nutcracker already every year. And Soap was in class. And I was just playing, doing poses like partnering work. And he would play the part of the male partner, and Sophie would do something. And Lamont was so cute. After he saw the pictures I showed him that we had taken, he said, "I'm just like the prince in the Nutcracker."
Oh, yes.
Are you nervous?
No.
Good.
Okay, we're going to skip a little section of the backstage action and just go to the end of the scene. So it picks up right around 4 minutes and 58 seconds, I think, of this clip.
Great.
Now, this is Lamont, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I realized just how important it was to Lamont. We were standing in the waiting area before class, and he was just looking at the pictures that we have on the walls. And he looked, and he had tears in his eyes, and he just came to me, and he said, "You have no idea how important this place is to me." To hear that kind of emotion from somebody, you realize that it's touched his heart.
It's kind of hard to see it's a little dark, but his eyes are shining at the end of that scene, and he's smiling. This picture, that picture is one we took after the Reedy Reels Festival, and those are some of the people in the class. And if you come on Thursday morning at 11:30, any Thursday morning except in the summer, you can meet them. It's been going on since 2007. It's a wonderful class. I was sold on the value of music and dance and producing by the time I was 6, because as I mentioned, it was the way I processed the world. But I choreographed a full-length ballet, Romeo and Juliet, to Prokofiev's score when I was 16 in my bedroom. And I never told anyone because I didn't think that it had any value. I didn't think that I, as an artist, had any value. But when I watched Lamont in that scene, and I see the passion in his eyes and the love that he feels when he sees the beauty of the art form, I want to celebrate every person who made it possible for those dancers to be there. This has no sound. This is just a video. And this is raw footage of the film that I'm producing right now with my husband. It's an art film. It's a film about loss. It was shot on the Peace Center stage in June by a good friend of mine named Jerry Finley, who tragically lost his battle with with COVID on October 10th, just a few days ago, really. My husband is as I mentioned, is the choreographer of this ballet. And he choreographed it about his mother after she passed away from cancer about 20 years ago. We raised $20,000 in March to be able to produce this and make it available for people. We also received a small grant from the Greenville Metro Arts Council. We decided to do it on film because so many people were grieving, and it's a film about loss, and it was powerful when it was produced in the live theater, so we decided to make it into a film. Both of my projects are what you would call passion projects. They don't have a huge market value necessarily, but we just believe in putting art out there for the sake of sharing stories. My films are not like necessarily Chris's films, and I'm going to actually invite Chris to join us virtually, as he said he's in California, but I would like to invite him to talk a little bit about his project, which was also sort of a passion project in the sense that he wrote it from a place in his heart, but has now international distribution. So I'm going to turn this video off and go to Chris. Chris, are you still with us?
Yeah, I am. Can you got me? You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. That footage is amazing, by the way. You didn't share that footage with me, the new movie, and it's beautiful, and I can't wait to see it. It's just incredible. Yeah. So let's see. My wife Emily and I, we live in Greenville, and we decided, I guess, about 10 years ago that we thought it'd be a good way to make a living if we could figure out how to make movies and get paid for it. So whereas I guess there is a commercial intent to what we're doing, as Sarah said, it's still an artistic pursuit. And the film Electric Jesus that's about to come out really is the culmination of 3 or 4 years of very intensive focused work and about 10 years of trying to create a job for ourselves in the entertainment business. But it's the whole story is inspired by my teenage years growing up in a Southern Baptist Christian youth group. I was not in a Christian hair metal band, but I thought that would be more entertaining as a way to tell the story. So the film is about a Christian hair metal band that gets to spend the summer on the road. And it's told through the eyes of the sound man for the band, wonderfully portrayed by an actor named Andrew Eckel. And we kind of have, it's a rock band movie, and I love rock and roll movies like That Thing You Do or Almost Famous. This is Spinal Tap, movies like that. So this would be squarely in that genre. But yeah, again, about a Christian movie where their goal is to, as they say, make Jesus famous. And along the way, they learn other things. But yeah, I empathize completely, Sarah, with the idea of you have a story to tell, you feel urgency to tell it, and you're just kind of like, how do I do this? And it's almost like when we talk about passion and it being a passion project, passion can only get you so far. At a certain point, you have to have the support of, in our case, private equity investors and state tax incentives. The state of Georgia supported our film. So that's where we filmed. We filmed in Columbus, Georgia. And now with distribution partners all over the world who come alongside the film and help it get out into the world. So I think it's still very similar if there is a commercial aim to the film itself.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. I totally agree. And I invited Chris to join us because he and I are talking about a project together in the next year or two. And we're like,
I thought you invited me on because you were going to announce that I was dancing the lead in the Nutcracker.
No, I
did not. Did I not get that?
I did not say that.
What? You got me up for this. Okay.
As a filmmaker, Chris is definitely a few steps ahead of me. And I'm really proud to call him a friend. And I'm really proud of the work that he's doing. And I do believe in the business of entertainment. I do believe that, it matters that we are successful in the financial side of it as well. But I just know that at the end of the day, there's a lot of kids out there who have big dreams and a lot to offer and a lot of stories to tell. And I just want to make sure that we don't forget that they do matter. And we started our lives in that way, and we're still at it like crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to switch back to my little presentation. We can go back to, so where we started was with modern life and current culture. And I suggested that a focus on arts education is the best shot that we have at solving some of our biggest cultural problems. Pablo Picasso said, "Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain one once we grow up." So let's teach our children and grandchildren the value of the mirror, not just winning, and the value of the mirror makers just as much as competition. And now, I guess that's sort of the end of my speech, but I will say we're going to give away some tickets. These are the two shows that IB has coming up. Le Tome is basically it's a mixed rep performance, so you'll see a variety of different types of dance. And we do have two really gifted professional guest dancers joining us. So it's not just our youth company, but some professional artists as well. And we're going to give 2 tickets away for that. And then we have, of course, the Nutcracker, which is our bread and butter, big tradition. And we didn't get to do it at the Peace Center last year. We're super excited to be back at the Peace Center this year. And we'll give 2 tickets away for that. And that, of course, also features the Greenville Symphony Orchestra, which we're always so proud and humbled that they play for our dancers. It takes it to a whole different level. And so I think Chris and I are going to take questions. But before we go to questions, Susan, would you like to come up and do a drawing? Yes. This is your last chance to enter if you didn't put a business with him. Excellent. All right. Do I draw or you? Okay. This one will be for Le Tome, the November show. No. That was me. She put my name as a sample example. Okay. Le Tome. Congratulations to Sunny Honda. You'll enjoy it. It's a lovely show. All right, now the Nutcracker tickets. Rusty Infinger. Rusty, congratulations. You're going to the Nutcracker. Congratulations. Okay, and then one final surprise. Someone has an envelope taped to the bottom of their chair, and that is for, drum roll, a free adult ballet class. Oh, now I know not all of you want to take ballet, but you might know someone who does. But hey, you might enjoy it. Who won the ballet class? Did you win it? Congratulations, come take ballet. So lots of winners today. And then also we have these flyers if you want to grab one on the way out. This is just a reminder of our season, our dates, and there's a QR code on the back where you can scan and get tickets directly from there. So again, I encourage you to come see our shows, but I know this was kind of a multifaceted speech, but that really was my heart that I was sharing. And I know that if you have any questions for me or for Chris, I will share the stage with him. Okay, it's not done yet. So we shot it in June, and it's close to being finished with the editing process. We have to color it and kind of finally assemble it. But when it is completely finished, it will be doing the film festival circuit to some degree, and it'll be released online. I can't tell you when though, but just stay in touch with me. Right, me. Okay. Well, actually, it's okay. He has an investor meeting, so that's why he had to leave. Yeah. So Greenville's not like a hotbed for production, so it's not necessarily easy, but it's also I like the culture here, and so I feel like there's a lot of supportive people. There's a lot of talented people. They're not necessarily. You do have to network in other markets, and that's why Chris is in California. He has to raise money outside of Greenville for his projects for the most part. But South Carolina has potential. I think it gets kind of into the weeds in terms of the funding of projects and why people film in certain places. It's just there's a lot more advantages to filming outside of South Carolina. But you can live in South Carolina and be a filmmaker, I think the world, again, we talked about the culture being very challenging, but one of the benefits of our modern society is you really can kind of live anywhere and network with people and be involved with people all over the world. So that's sort of what we're doing. What do I like the culture? Well, I like the culture just in terms of raising a family. Like, I like the culture. Like, I wouldn't want to move to a bigger city because I like Greenville. So, but I also, I think if I were younger and, really had like big dreams, like if I were a Greta Gerwig or something, I probably wouldn't stay in a small city like Greenville. I would want to hustle a little bit more. But for my purposes, again, I feel like for better or for worse, my journey seems to be, serving where I am. I'm planted here, and this is where I'll serve. And I'll continue to do what I'm passionate about, but I'm not necessarily going to uproot my family, to go to a bigger market. I like Greenville because I think the people are amazing and I think the culture is amazing. And I do think that Greenville is a very arts supportive city. I mean, I don't think it, I know it. It's evident. So it's kind of preaching to the choir to y'all, but I still have to say it. I have to remind people. Other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sarah. And she's already signed, but we continue right with the tradition now of donating a book to Alexander Elementary's library. And this one's called I Am Enough. And Sarah, thank you for signing that. So I love, right, the passion. Our theme this year for Rotary is serve to change lives. And to me, it resonated that it was the simplest thing, right? Giving this young man the opportunity to present the flowers to the lead principal. And that little thing, what a life changer for him, right? And something he will always remember. And so to me, it was a good reminder to us, it doesn't have to be grand. That gesture sometimes is just the one that comes right from the heart. So thank you for sharing and thank you for all the work that you're doing. Much appreciated. Okay, so just more giving because we're in the giving mood. So we have a drawing for our bringing guests to Rotary. And so walk this way if you could. So this time it is Elizabeth Razor. Is Elizabeth still here? Here you go, Elizabeth. It's a gift card to the Spice and Tea Exchange. And holding up that cart bucket. So make sure you make your donations. We continue with the cart challenge. And this meeting is being sponsored by George Fletcher. So make him feel the pain. Sorry, George. Okay, those are on the center of the table. Loose change, whatever you have, everything works. Last couple things. So membership, right? It is each one bring one. It takes all of us to continue to help this club thrive, right? Whether it's the Greenville Holiday Village events where we all participate and allows us to continue with our making a difference in our communities. So another idea was presented by a Rotarian to me, and he said, you know what, sometimes it's a tangible. So Michelle, thank you, Michelle, created these cards. You can pick them up from her. And on there, it has our Rotary Club, but it says you're invited to, leaves a blank line so you can fill in the meeting, right? Our club meeting at the Westin Hotel. The second line just says you're invited to a Discover Rotary meeting on, so you can just fill in the date. Leave the card with them. It's got Michelle's contact information. She's more than happy to help register people. So all you have to do, again, put on a date, hand a card. If you're not even sure of the date, give them the card and ask them to check with Michelle. And again, she'll take care of helping them come. So I appreciate the ideas that are shared. We're constantly looking for new ways to help generate interest in growing our membership. And your participation is desired and really needed. Okay, last gift. These are so cool. So these are zombie statues. So just randomly place 5 of these out there in front of somebody has them at your place setting. So if you do, we're just saying happy Halloween, and there's 5 Halloween gift bags up here. So who's the 5 people? I just want to see. 1, and I'll count 4, 3, 4. There should be one more, 5. Thank you. So feel free to come up and get your bag at the end of the presentation. And then before we actually close, one last recognition. So if Caroline and Bert are either or both of them, it was above our budget. I want to hit the budget part. It was above our budget, right? But our current relationship with them to the support for Greenville Holiday Village. So they gave us a very reduced rate to hold it out there. And it was just a fun environment, great food, good, right? Just gathering and sharing. So I wanted to thank you guys for pulling that off for our club. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Last plug for Greenville Holiday Village, right? Come help, come help, come help. We need you. It is going to be a huge success. I've just, family members, my sister's up in Boiling Springs and they've already signed up to volunteer. They want to help clean up. I was like, okay, you go for all that, go for that. But just think about that, right? Friends and family, extend that invitation. So with that, I think I'm done. So if we can stand, we'll do our closing. Oh, Susan left. I would say, Joseph, you're here. Lester, these are family connections. Susan Foles, who's with the ballet, they're actually siblings. And Joseph's a member, so I found that out a short while ago. Okay, so for our closing, we see the banner, the four-way test. It's up on the screen, so if you'll please repeat with me. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? With that, our meeting is adjourned.